Good morning, student. Today I am here with a new topic. The name of a lesson is His First Flight. It is written by Smt.L.B.Joshi. Now this is a story about a seagull. Now you might have heard the name of the bird. The name of a bird is a seagull. Let us see. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. Ledge means, was student, a narrow shelf protecting protecting it from a cliff. So the young seagull was alone at his ledge, okay, or we can say the place where the nest has been built for them. Two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink, that is edge of the ledge, and attempt to flap his wing. Flap means to make it ready so that the bird can fly. He became afraid. A great expanse of sea trace down beneath. Now you can see in a picture that a seagull is sitting near the edge of the rock. Okay, and what is there? There is a big, or we can say great expanse of the sea. Great expanse of the sea means what? Stretch. Now you might have seen the sea, yes? It is stretched far, far away. There is no landmark in the between. And it was such a long way down, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept. So he was in a mood to fly, but when he saw the stretch of the sea, he was afraid of. What he thought? That his wings will not support him to fly. Right? So what he did? He just went back by putting his head down. When he went back to the hole under the ledge where he used to sleep. Even when each of his brother and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to blink, flapped their wings and flew away. Now his brother and sisters, okay? His little brother, they were too small, but their wings are also delicate and small. But what they did, they flapped away and they started flying, not at a very great height, but at a low height, from one place to another. He fell to muster up. Muster up means to gather, a courage to take the plunge. Plunge means to take a bit of flew, which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around the ledge, calling to him cheerily, upbraiding him. Upbraiding means scratching, and threatening to let him stop on this ledge unless he flew away. Now sometime when you do mischief, yes, when you don't listen to your parents, what they do? They give you a punishment? Yes. So similar way, here the mother and father of the seagull, what they decided? They started scolding and threatening. Threatening means try to make him frightened. Okay? And by what saying? Let him starve. We are not going to provide him of food until and unless he flew away. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near me. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parent flying above with his brother and sister. Now that was 24 hours ago when the parent has warned him that they are not going to provide any type of the food to him. Now since from that nobody came near him, and both mother father throughout the day what they were doing, they were flying with his brother and sister, perfecting them in an art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves. Skim the waves means, children, how to move quickly in a waves. Okay? How to dive for fish. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his fish, hearing and deer. Hearing means a small silly fish, and deer means eating hungrily. Now since 24 hours he was looking that his mother, father, brother and sister all were busy in their activity. They were flying from one place to another. They were diving in the water. They were catching the fish and they were eating so that they might not be hungry. Okay? Standing on a rock while his parents circled around raising a proud crackers, and all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Cowardice means that you are coward. The whole family was away and he was only alone. You can see in a picture they are settling in another cliff, the opposite side of the rock, or we can say opposite side of the cliff where the seagull was there. The sun was now ascending the sky. Moving on his ledge that faced the south, he felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous night fall. Now slowly the sun was getting down. And what he was doing, he was just blazing on the ledge of the south. He was just looking toward the south side where the parents were sitting. Okay? Now he felt the heat because he has not eaten since last previous nightfall. That means since 24 hours he has not eaten anything. He stepped down slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other, and pretended to be falling asleep. So what he did? He stepped slowly out of the brink of the ledge. That means from the hole. He slowly came out from the hole. And what he did? He was standing on a one leg. Okay, hiding the other leg under his wing. And what he was pretending, what he was showing, that he was sleeping. Still they took no notice of him. Still the parents had least bothered. They have not taken any notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their head sunk into their neck. His father was prinning. Prinning means cleaning. Okay? Cleaning the feather on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. So who was looking at him? Only his mother. The father was busy cleaning his feather. The two brother and sister both were dozing. Okay? She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again she caught a piece of fish that lay at her feet and then scrambled each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear the food that way, scraping his beak now again to the wet edge. Now, while standing on the rock, what he was thinking? He was thinking about the fish, about the food, then how he used to tear it, how he used to eat it. So by thinking it, what he was doing? He was wiping his beak on the rock. Ga ga ga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. So this is the sound of a bird. Okay. Now he was making a sound for whom? For his mother, so that she can bring some food for him. Go to she screamed back deservedly. So mother gave an reply by making a sound. Deservedly means angrily, we can say. Okay. But he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute she uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of the fish and was flying across to him with it. But he kept on calling. He kept on calling the pitifully. That means a request. To whom? To his mother. So the mother is a mother, whether it may be a human being or whether it may be a mother of animals. Yes, even a mother is quite angry with you. But when you ask for something, she cannot ignore it. The similar things happened with the seagull's mother. Okay, so what she did, she just picked up the fish and she was just flying towards him. That had made him very happy. He leaned out eagerly, tapping the rock with the feet, trying to get nearer to her as he flew across. But when she was just opposite him, she halted, her wings motionless, the piece of fish in her beak almost within reach to his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come near, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outward and downward into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. So what did mother did? She took a piece of a fish and she just flew very near to the seagull. But instead of giving a fish to the seagull, what she did? She stand there motionless. Okay, that means she was not there. She was there still in the sky in a flying way. She was completely motionless. She has not given the food. And by looking at that, now the seagull was quite surprised that why mother is not providing me the fish. Okay. Now what happened? Now he was very hungry. So he moved. He dived on the fish. He just moved from one place. That means now to take the fish, he was trying to fly. Okay. But it only lasted a minute. The next moment he felt his wings spread outward. The wind rushed against his breast feather, then under his stomach and again his wings. So, unknowingly to get the food, what the seagull had did, he started flying. He suddenly felt that the wind is been touching his feather, his stomachs. He could feel the tip of his wing cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was not falling. He was soaring gradually downward and outward. He was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy. Then he flapped his wing once and he soared upward. That means now he realized that as he is flying, he was not falling down. Okay, so he was on the way to get the fish. Whatever the afraid he was having almost has gone. Why? Because he has gathered the courage. For what? He was hungry, really, and now he wants the food. Therefore, to get the fish, he can dive up to the life. He can live up to the life. Ga 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 ga, Gulcha, his mother, swooped past him, her wings and making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him screaming. He saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Curveting means moving gracefully. Okay? Banking means tilting. So, Now what is not only his mother, but his father, his brother and sister, all were along with him, and they were also flying with him. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly, and commanded himself to dive and soar and curved, sinking steadily. He was near the sea now, flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him. Now he commanded himself. Now he started cheering himself. Okay. Now he started taking a dive in the water, and started eating a fish, the fish that they like to eat. Okay. And now they are straight and they are facing the ocean. They were flying. Now the seagull was not afraid of that he is going to fell down in a deep sea. He turned his back sideways and called amusedly. His parent and his brother and sister had landed on this green flooring ahead to him. They beckoning to him, calling sadly. He dropped his leg to stand on the green sea. His leg sank into it. He screamed with a fright and attempt to rise again, flapping his wing. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise, exhausted by the strange exercise. Now he started enjoying the things. Okay, so what he did, he just landed on the sea waves, standed there for an hour, and again he started to fly up in the sky. But now he was completely tired and he was not able to fly because almost he was hungry for 24 hours. His feet sank into the green sea and then his belly touched it. He sank no further. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him that their beaks were offering him to scrap off dog fish. That is a piece of a spices of a fish, we can say. He had made his first flight. So the family which was standing, they were screaming, they were telling him to catch a fish, eat it, and to fly. And at last he had did the same thing, and that was his first flight. Okay, children, so you might have understood the lesson. So what the lessons the moral give you? The lessons the moral give you is that you should never be fear to do the thing. You should always have an courage. That's a part of a grammar. Today I will explain you the perfect tense. The perfect tense. There are three types of the tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. Now present tense, expression action that was completed or started in the past and continue in the present. For example, my mother has promised me a large piece of fish if I manage to fly off his ledge. So has or have plus past particles. Okay. Promised is in past particles. Past. Express an action that has completed in the past before some other past action. My brother and sister had learned to fly before I did. Had plus past particles. Future. Express an action that will be completed before another action. By the time I muster the courage to fly, I will have starved to death. Will have or shall have plus past particles. Okay. Now here we have to underline the perfect tense in each sentence and write it tense. She had just finished her test when the bell rang, signaling the end of the period. So what is the tense here? Just finished. And what type of a tense it is? Past perfect tense. They have assured me that once the repairs are done, the car will be as good as new. Have assured. Okay? And what type of a tense? Present perfect tense. You better hurry up or the picnic will have finished by the time you get here. So what is a will have? What type of a tense? Future perfect tense. Jack has completed all the tasks that were assigned to him. So has completed. What type of the tense? Present perfect tense. This is the second time she has had an accident in her workshop. Has had. What type of a tense? Present perfect tense. I looked everywhere, but I cannot find my mother. So what type of a tense it is? A present perfect tense. Complete this sentence with the correct perfect tense of the verb in the bracket. At the rate you are going, you will have accumulated enough wealth by the time you are 35 years old. Sheena has studied all the chapter for the test. By the end of this month, Richard will have completed his current project and will be able to begin the next one. I am sure the students have met their teacher by now. Tina had knocked on the door 3 times before her mother asked her to enter the room. It has rained a lot today and it is likely that there will be a heavy rainfall against these weeks. So, student, now we will see the suffix. Suffix are the letter added to the end of a word to create a new word with a different meaning. The form of the word may sometimes change. The suffix like ness, ity, ist, meant, and iron are used to make the noun. So here we can see happy, I have added ness. Now while adding ness, the y has converted into I, that is a happiness. Similar, similarity. Enter, entrance. Art, artist. Refresh, refreshment. Admit, admission. Complete this sentence with the word formed by the adding suitable suffix to the word in the bracket. Shiba was able to learn swimming due to her coach encouragement. Alok was given a great deal of responsibility in his job. Please tell me your decision by next week. Their flight was delayed due to congestion at the airport. Pamel's resemblance to her mother was very striking. Arun's sister is studying to be a journalist. Mohsin's readiness to have a personal word with everybody at the function must appreciate. Okay, students? Now we will have some meanings. Glide lightly over a surface, that is a skim. Act of flying, flight. A piece of writing used for formal communication, notice. The amount of fish a fisherman gets on a particular day, catch. Go through some reading material in a cursive manner, skim. Become aware of someone or something, notice. Move ahead from a particular point, forward. A trip in an aeroplane, flight. Send a letter received by email or post to another person, forward. Grab something that is falling, catch. So, student, you might have understood the lesson and the grammar very well. Okay, students? So, we will meet you on the next session with a new poem. Okay? Have a good day.